Welcome back to Gaelic Games Fan TV. Derry 112, Tyrone 9 points. A massive win for Derry. 2 wins for 2 now in the Allianz National Football League Division 1. They obviously beat Kerry last week, and now they've gone out and beaten Tyrone. And yeah, look, it was an interesting game. I mean, Derry started like an absolute house on fire. They obviously had that early goal chance. Tyrone had an early goal chance as well. And Tyrone just really never recovered from that. You know, Derry went, 4 or 5 points up inside the opening 20 minutes, and Tyrone just didn't have an answer. They just didn't have a response. And yeah, it was a fantastic performance again from Derry. Like the control that they had in around midfield. I mean, Conor Glass can just absolutely do no wrong at the moment on the pitch, off the pitch. He scores a wonder goal as well. Did he mean it? That's that is the interesting question. If you actually look at his reaction after when he kind of done this, he was almost saying it was almost implying that he did mean it, but only himself will know. But either way, it was a cracking goal. It was an absolutely cracking goal and a cracking performance. We criticised Mickey Harte quite a lot last week in the sense that he was playing Conor Glass, he was playing Kieran McFell. You wonder, do Derry have had a not necessarily underage success, but they have obviously winning a few minor All Irelands, and their under 20s have done all right, getting to a few Ulster finals and whatnot. A few of those players have obviously come through, likes of Cormac McAvoy, likes of Ethan Doherty, for example. But now they have another one, Cormac Murphy. 3 points from him. He was very good, I thought. Obviously wins man of the match. Some of his play, was very good in terms of his points taken, setting up scores around them as well. Shane McGuigan obviously kicked some fine scores. And Derry were very good. And look, I think the important thing for Derry really, and you'd probably say this about Derry last year, is that apart from Shane McGuigan, maybe they did struggle at times to get scores from their forwards. There maybe has been an argument about Derry in the last couple of years that if Shane McGuigan isn't quite scoring, where else are they going to get their scores from when you're speaking about their forwards? Obviously, Ethan Doherty's come into the side last year. He started to get a couple of points. Paul Cassidy, another young player who came in last year, was quite impressive as well. And Cormac Murphy obviously coming in 3 points, and he was very impressive. And it was just a really well-controlled, well-grinded out victory from Derry. I was disappointed with Tyrone, I can't lie. I thought in the second half they were very, very poor. I mean, they had that, they went an absolute age without scoring. Like from the 27th minute right up into the 58th minute, Tyrone didn't register a point. And I just thought that was very poor from them. And it is interesting with these league games. I was at a party last night, so I didn't actually get to see the Dublin Mayo game. I am going to go back and watch it, and there will be a reaction out a little bit later on. But with these league games, I don't know, sometimes you just look at some teams and they just don't look arsed. And that's kind of what happened with Tyrone. They just didn't really look bothered. And again, it is kind of annoying using the term "it's only the league" and everything else and shadow boxing, but there was a part of me that looked at Tyrone and thought they're definitely not going at full pace. They're not going at full strength. And this is the thing sometimes with these league matches when teams are behind, there's no plan B, or they don't throw the kitchen sink at it for as an example. And yeah, Kieran Daly, to be fair, was decent. 2 points from him. Derek Hanneman was much more quiet. And to be fair, you have to credit Derry defensively, who got every man behind the ball really in the second half, frustrated the living daylights out of Tyrone's attack, and they just couldn't really get Derek Hanneman in the game. Derry won the midfield battle, you'd have to say as well. Conor Glass was superb. Brendan Rodgers was outstanding as well. But you have to credit their defence. Chrissy McCaig was outstanding. Garrett McKinless in the first half, I thought, had a very good game as well. And Derry just controlled it. They just controlled it. They shut Tyrone down. And, Mickey Harte gets the win against his old team. And that was the thing. I was expecting a bit more fight from Tyrone, a bit more bite about them. The fact that it is Mickey Harte in charge. I know, not all of those Tyrone lads would have played under Mickey Harte, for example. But at the same time, I just expected a bit more fight, a bit more heart, if that makes sense, from Tyrone, and it just wasn't there. But again, is that kind of shadow boxing with the fact that these two could very well play each other in Ulster? I suppose if Tyrone can get past Monaghan, but yeah, it is interesting. It certainly is interesting. Plenty of comments coming in. Dublin is great, says Derry should have had goal or two more. Yeah, they obviously had a goal disallowed from Conor Glass as well. Tyrone were very poor. Yeah, they definitely weren't at it. They definitely weren't at it. And it was probably more of the Tyrone that I expected coming into this season. Tyrone have had a lot of these performances in the last few years. Since that All-Ireland win, they've had a lot of performances like this. The problem with Tyrone is when they go 3-4 points down, their heads seem to go, and they just and they actually end up getting hammered. That's happened more often than not. I don't necessarily think that was the case this time around, because I don't think Derry went full throttle necessarily either, and I think they were happy to take the sting out of the game. They were happy to keep possession. They were happy to slow it down, and they were happy to get sort of a lot of their players inside their own half and sort of defend the lead and shut out Tyrone and make sure that they couldn't get the ball to Darragh Canavan, they couldn't get the ball to Darren McCurry, just taking Tyrone's sort of big players out of the game. And Derry done that. Derry done that very well, in fairness. A2 says, I'm here for the Cork lads rant on the review show. Yeah, it will be here tomorrow. Don't worry. I'm looking forward to it as well, actually. A2 says, Tyrone are an absolute sewer of a team. Something not right in that camp, and hasn't been for years now. Yeah, I don't know what it is. And the thing with Tyrone is, you see them last week against Roscommon kicking 17 points, going down to 14 men. The talent's there. Some of the younger lads coming in. They have the ability to beat. Maybe look, Derry are a very good side as well, in fairness, but Tyrone have the ability to play better. Essentially, like some of the shooting in the second half was very poor as well, wasn't it? They have the potential to kick on and get better, and we just didn't see it, in fairness. But it's not the end of the world for Tyrone necessarily. Look, ultimately their main focus will probably be stay in the league, have a crack at Ulster, have a crack at an All-Ireland, like a lot of teams in this division, in fairness. But again, when you look at Tyrone's record against Derry, I think Derry have beaten them now the last 4 or 5 times, and I think for mentally as well for Tyrone, who look, if they are gonna win an Ulster title, if Derry get past Donegal, they're probably gonna face Derry at some point. You'd imagine, especially with the way the championship is structured now. You'd imagine Tyrone and Derry will probably play each other at some point, and Derry do seem to have the hop in them at the minute. There's absolutely no doubts about it. And look, Mickey Harte obviously playing Conor Glass, playing Kieran McFell. Look, Conor Glass can't do much wrong at the moment. He was very good today. He just keeps it simple, which is what I like about him. He just plays little short passes. He doesn't overcomplicate things. And he is a very intelligent and smart footballer, and I think he demonstrated that with the goal. Look, did he mean it? We don't know, but look, I think considering the year he's had, I think you have to give him some credit. But yeah, look, disappointing for Tyrone. Be curious to know what Tyrone fans think in the comments. I mean, it was very sluggish, sloppy. Just struggled really to get into first gear. They just couldn't really find a way into it. And Derry just looked very comfortable. They looked very, very comfortable, and I think that game could have played out another half an hour, 40 minutes, and I still don't think Tyrone would have came anywhere close to beating them. So great result for Derry. And let us know in the comments down below, what did you think of the game? Man of the match, they gave it to Cormac Murphy. I think I probably would agree with that. Thought Ethan Doherty was actually very good as well, to be fair. And Conor Glass was sensational. But let me know your man of the match. I will be going live a little bit later as well to discuss the Dublin and Mayo game. As I was saying, I was at a party last night, so unfortunately I've seen little bits of it, but I haven't really watched the game in full, so I'll have to watch that back and discuss it a little bit later. 2 defeats for Dublin. Are Dublin in relegation trouble? That's what we'll be discussing a little bit later on. So cheers anyone who tuned in. My name's Aaron. Speak to you all soon.